very important question. Do you believe in ghosts?
Okay, so I have many thought out. I've thought about this a lot. Because I watch a ton of like ghost hunting shows. I live in a haunted house. So
Okay, pen in that. We're coming back to that for sure. Go on.
That's usually, yeah. So I believe that there's something. To say specifically what it is, I believe in ghosts as like a general concept of a thing, like some kind of energy or like a thing that's inhabiting a space that we can't necessarily see or understand. I don't know necessarily that they fit all the very specific definitions that people have given them over the years. But I have experienced, and I think a lot of people, like when you experience something, you're you just become you're like, well, I know what happened to me and I know I didn't, make that up. So yeah, there's something going on for sure.
So that experience enables you to say, okay, well, if that's happening to me, probably lots of other ghost stories are also true.
Well, so it definitely enabled me to be super curious about it. And so then I started going out and like, once I get to know somebody well enough, I'm like, okay, what are your ghost stories? Like, have you ever experienced anything? And then I just collect other people's ghost stories. And like hearing from people who I know to be very like trustworthy people and people who don't, scare easily or don't get freaked out by things or don't jump to conclusions. When people I know who are like that, who have had these experiences and are telling me these things that they're like, I know this happened. I know I know it sounds out there, but this is real. This happened to me. I know I know what I felt. And then after they tell me that, I'm like, yeah, okay, that happened to you. Like, I trust you. And, on the ghost hunting shows and stuff, they're like, say like, oh, electromagnetic signals or whatever, like exposed wiring or whatever can cause the kind of like that feeling of like being watched or that kind of stuff. You live in an old house, things creak, doors close on their own, stuff like that. I understand.
You know what else causes that feeling is being watched.
Being watched by a ghost? Yeah. So I'm like, yeah, I get all of that. But also, one time I was hiding in a closet and I felt a hand on my shoulder and I could feel all 4 fingers and the thumb pressing into the back of my shoulder as if somebody, like an adult, was standing behind me and grabbed my shoulder and just squeezed. And I was out of there so fast. Like, what was that? Explain that one to me. I don't know.
How old were you when that happened?
I was probably like 5 or 6 because we were playing hide and seek in my house and I was hiding in the closet. And at the time, because it's got like shelves in it now, but at the time it had jackets in it. And I was like, okay, maybe one of the jacket sleeves like fell over my shoulder or something. But it's like, what kind of jacket sleeve would have pressed down like a hand and let me feel all of every single finger, so many things have happened in this house. I mean, like, and every member of my family has heard something or seen something, sometimes multiple times, including my sister's friends who came here to investigate if the house was haunted. So it's kind of like, I'm pretty sure there's something going on here. But it's like, you can't really, there's no way to prove it. There's no way to gather evidence. And I kind of bring this up in Now Entering Adamsville. There's literally no way that I can think of that anybody can ever prove that ghosts exist, right? Because if you get anything, if you record any video, any audio, anything like that, people can just say, that's doctored. Like, that's not real. And you can experience it for yourself, but you can't convince anybody else that it actually happened. So it's one of those things that it's like, I believe in it, but if other people don't, whatever, I guess that's the way it has to be.
You're not an evangelical person for the spirit world coming to us with a message?
Nah,
And are you broadcasting from the haunted house right now?
I am. I am in the room. I don't think this room has had anything. See, I'm gonna say this, and then tonight something. This is the room I sleep in. So I'm gonna say this, and then tonight something's gonna happen. We haven't had anything happen for a few years because, so my sister's older than me, and one night she came home from college, and like her room was one that like, we've heard people running around in it. Like we'd be downstairs and you could hear footsteps like running in circles in that room, to the point where like it's a chandelier. It's like an old chandelier that hangs in the room below it. And the chandelier would start swaying as if somebody was running upstairs, and there's nobody up there. And like she used to have a little like doorbell on that door, so people could hit it before they came in, and it would go off in the middle of the night, which is like, okay, could be just bad wiring or something. And just all kinds of stuff in that room. And so one night she came home from college and she was like, look, if you could all just chill out while I'm home, you can have it back when I'm gone. Just, don't do anything while I'm here. And we have not heard a thing in this house since then. Like,
how long ago was that?
That was probably like, see, now I'm going to date my sister. I think that was over 10 years ago. It was probably, it was at least over 10 years ago. So, although, that's a lie, because something did happen to me when I came home from college one weekend in that room. So this is a really creepy story. Okay, I'm going to tell you.
Sweet.
So,
and real quick, esteemed audience, if you're just listening, this might be an episode you want to watch on YouTube, because this is a paranormal activity movie right now. Everybody's going to be watching just behind you to see what activity might be occurring.
Oh my God, things might start moving. Like, you don't know. Somebody could walk behind me and I won't notice because I'm not looking at my little picture up there. So I came home. It was one weekend. I was back in that room. It was like 11:30 at night because it was when I could still stay up late. And I was sitting there like writing. I was on Twitter, was doing whatever. And like my forehead was kind of itching. My temple was kind of itching, but I was like, whatever, scratch it. I went up to go to the bathroom. Again, middle of the night. Was washing my hands in the sink, and I looked up in the mirror, and I had a blood trail. It was not even a joke, from my temple all the way down my face, down my neck, and then it stopped and beaded like right below my collarbone. And I was so freaked out because there was nothing on my temple. There was no cut. There was no even like rash or anything. There was nothing farther up that could have dripped. I went back to the room and checked the ceiling to see if anything could have dripped on me. Nothing. And it was dried. It was dried blood. And so I was like, okay, that was on me for a long time. I didn't feel it run down my face. I don't have any kind of wound, and there's nothing dripping on me from the ceiling. Where did this come from? And I was so freaked out that I washed it off immediately. And now I wish I had gotten a picture of it. But it was like, I don't know what's happening right now. And then I went back in the room and I was like, what was that? Okay. And then I just went to bed because I was freaked out. And normally I don't get, like, I watch horror movies all the time. I love being in graveyards. I love nighttime and everything. I don't normally get freaked out, and that did it for me. So,
dude. Yeah, who wouldn't that
right?
freak out?